It's a quick, easy process, but it's got to be done.
Yeah,
That's the
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I believe once they brought the keys for their homes,
Yeah.
that process would have been completed without that the keys are not handed over.
See, we use these terms interchangeably, check-in, right? So no. So the residence life move-in has nothing to do with the Rutgers Global Check-in. So you have to do getting your RUID card has nothing to do with the Rutgers Global Check-in. These are all independent processes. They all have to be done, but they're all part of sort of an arrival checklist, but this one has to be done too. The good thing is that they are in rooms right now where someone's telling them to do it. It's repeated multiple times throughout their schedule as well, so it will get done, but a reminder from you will only be helpful.
Does this have to be done online or in person?
Online, all online.
All online?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it's done online. So the check-in now, but now when they travel next, they have to get something called a travel signature. Okay, that travel signature on their I-20 is valid for 1 year. It's also electronic. They need it for when they're coming back in the country. So when they're leaving and coming back, they need a valid visa and they need that travel signature. So when they're saying they're coming home, just remind them, ask them, did they get a travel signature? And once they get it, it's valid for 1 year. So if they traveled in December, it's good in May as well. Okay, so for 1 good year, fine. Basically what that means is we're telling the Port of Entry officers that the students are good at Rutgers, they're making good academic progress, they're expected back in the university. Yes.
How much time does it take to get this travel signature?
2 days. Sometimes it's even quicker, but the usual turnaround time for travel signatures is very quick.
So they have to approach your office to get the.
Anything to do with the I-20 is our office, is the International Student Services.
Just for a follow-up, because when we came in this time, the I-20 wasn't signed by the officers at the airport. Is it normal or?
Yeah, I-20 doesn't have to be signed by the officer. The I-20 is a printout of a student CBIS record. Someone from our office will sign it and the student will sign it. The officer at the Port of Entry will just stamp the passport and say they've been admitted in F1 status.
We didn't have the impossible stamp somehow.
Or they probably just, they do it a little differently. I mean, either they may stamp it, but as long as the electronic I-94 record is correct, so the student can access their I-94 record. That's their admission and departure record. So the basic arrival information is recorded there. So as long as that information is accurate, no problem.
So how do we know that the student has checked in? Do we get any confirmation from your side?
The student will get a confirmation.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
Student gets everything.
Student will get a confirmation, but they can share it with us. Okay? Alright, what else? I mean, I think other things that you probably heard from others too, just to keep all their information current and updated, I add this layer of international regulations to it, or F1 regulations, because sometimes, their domestic friends may not be thinking about this, right? I mean, maybe my phone number changed, but I didn't update it. But for international students, it does have to be updated for their CBIS record. So address, email, anything that changes. I decided to change from one major to another. It's all possible. They can do it the same way as domestic students can. They just have to make sure it's updated so that their CBIS records are current and accurate. Okay? What else? Full course of study. I mean, all students are expected to be full-time. International students, for their F1 visas, are required to have at least 12 credits per semester. There are very, very, rare circumstances, more than rare, it's specific circumstances. So it could be they're in their final semester, which is far off for your students right now, where they have only 6 credits left to take. In that case, it could be, they could register for less than full-time. But otherwise, it's always full-time and no more than 3 credits of online coursework. So purely online coursework can only be 3 credits per semester. The rest of the credits, the rest of the 9 credits, or at least have to be either hybrid, could be a combination of online and in-person, or completely in-person. So the F1 regulations require that students are here and studying in person. So this is just part of the regulation that hasn't changed. I know there are a lot of online classes available, but this is something that's a little different for international students. They have to keep in mind this restriction based on the visa regulations. Any questions so far? slide that's of interest to everyone.
Emergency contact, domestic